So here's a cooperative deck video where two decks are going to be trying to get the highest possible maneuver on a single starfighter. One of the main reasons that that's fun to get such high maneuver is that there's an interrupt. All wings report in and dark lighter spin for the light side, and short range fighters and watch your back for the dark side. And that's the combo version. There's the original versions from Special Edition that let you do that. But just for fun, I'm also going to try to get out the entirety of Gold Squadron, all the Y-Wings as well. I've always liked Y-Wings, never put them in a deck, and I figured that'd be an additional objective to try to do while making this deck. So Dark Side is mostly just helping out. They're going to have a lot of Star Destroyers. And Light Side's going to get out some Y-Wings, and we're going to use the Falcon here. We're going to try to get the Falcon up to super high maneuver. But not just any Falcon. It's going to be the virtual Han Chewie in the Falcon. There's a couple reasons why I chose this one specifically when our goal is to get super high maneuver. So usually when you have like the regular Falcon that doesn't have any pilots on it, it has a maneuver of 4. I guess some versions have 5. Here, if we get rid of Han and Chewie as the permanent pilots and then add 2 pilots back on, it's actually going to be able to have more maneuver than the base one usually would have. So it already has maneuver 6. Removing the permanent pilots doesn't subtract from the maneuver. The issue is that it's immune to Come With Me, which is the dark side card that cancels permanent pilots, but it's not immune to the light side card, eject. So we can eject our own permanent pilots from it a little bit later on. Darkside's going to get out a bunch of different systems, help the light side get a bunch of activation. Lots of times these cooperative decks, I have to be careful because there's so much activation that I activate. If I'm not careful, I'm going to activate all the cards I need. But dark side can usually, it's a lot easier when you're trying to do something as the light side than it is the dark side, because you have hiding in the garbage to help you out. If you want to use it, you have a dangerous time for the dark side to help you out. And Fondor just came out, so that's an important site for the Executor. And in addition to having some really high maneuver, I also figured I'd add a couple cards to add some power. I'm only going to try to draw 1 Battle Destiny. There's ways to get the Falcon a bunch of Battle Destinies, but we're just going to try to see how high we can get its power with a single Battle Destiny. All right, so here comes the Falcon. We got a couple of things we need to do to it first. So the cool thing about this droid is that after you forfeit it, it can stay on the ship. It stacks on it kind of like an effect. It still adds to its maneuver. So we have to get it involved in a battle so we can forfeit it. And then we're going to transfer over. So we got 2 droids as passengers now. R2-D2 is one of them. Whoops. I had to click on R2-D2. Let's see if I can get him. There he is. So he's adding 2 to power maneuver and hyperspeed of the Falcon. We delivered the stolen data tape so we can take any card we want into hand. We have another astromech. Right now there's no room for him, but we can put him on later. Okay, so we're at Alderaan. We've delivered the data tapes. Darkside's going to deploy some systems. And one of the Star Destroyers I don't use very often is Visage. Visage is basically like it's a spied Star Destroyer, so you can deploy it even where you don't have icons. Here's the fun thing with lateral damage. So you can actually have the Jawa. That's why I deployed him. The Jawa, his job is to play Utini to steal the lateral damage. So light side's going to use that later. So we got a battle here, and since this is a cooperative video, the light side isn't always going to do the smartest, or I should say the dark side isn't always going to do the smartest thing. In fact, they're often going to do rather dumb things. But we don't want the Falcon to have to lose. If the dark side draws more than a 5, the Falcon's for a battle destiny, the Falcon's kind of in trouble because then I have to lose more than just the droid I wanted to lose, and then I have to do some other things, and then it has to, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's why I played moving to attack positions. They're immune to attrition. That droid is now stacked on the Falcon. So it's maneuver +1. Power as well. And that freed up a passenger slot. Okay, so now we're trying to get rid of those permanent pilots so that we can put 2 pilots on there. They're going to each add to the base maneuver of 6. You draw more than a 2, do that pretty easily. So now Han and Chewie are no longer the permanent pilots. They've ejected into space. Got Chewie in hand. Darkside's going to help out with a dangerous time here. I've got Chewie in hand, so now he can pilot the Falcon, and we'll try to find Han later. He adds 2 to maneuver. So we got base of 6. Chewie's adding 2. Fusion General supply tanks are adding 1. This is just to get some extra battle destiny, extra total battle destiny, and retrieval if needed. Our 2 X2s on there, so let's see, 6, 7. It moved on me. So quite a lot of maneuver so far. I'm guessing around 11. In game, you can click on it, and it'll tell you all the stats, but on the replay, you can't tell. So looks like 13 is the total maneuver right now. Out comes the Executor. Was -5 to Fondor, I believe. We still got quite a few more Y-Wings to get out. We got a lot of the pilots and ships in hand. Han's in hand now. There's a couple Hans that had two to maneuver, but I figure I'd just use the classic one. Neither of those is really helpful. Darkside's going to help out by arranging the used pile so that when I spend force, the cards I don't need will get spent first, and then I'll still have some cards left to draw, ideally. So special modifications add 2 to maneuver. I think that means we're at 15. We were at 13 before. Hobby on the Tantive, just so there's somebody on board. Trying to get the whole squadron out. A lot of these guys don't draw on their own, but that's okay. They won't be battling. I just wanted to have all of Gold Squadron on the table at once. There's Han. 15 maneuver now, 17. I've already lost track. We'll find out in the battle what the maneuver is. Put them at the same location because I kind of wanted the Gold Squadron guys going in order. All right, so I got gold 1, gold 2, gold 3. We got gold 4 and 6 in hand, so that'll go the way we need it to. Just for fun, I have a couple Star Destroyers coming out. And Dark Side won't draw Battle Destiny here just because I was feeling silly. Didn't want anything weird to happen and have to lose the Falcon. I wouldn't have to lose the Falcon, but I'd have to lose something on board, and that would set me back. And just because it's kind of funny to see the Falcon on its own get 36 power. That includes bonus Battle Destiny because of the objective. So I'm adding 1 to my total Battle Destiny for each of these places controlled by or occupied by a rebel of ability less than 4. We'll get gold 4 out. Gold 6 out to Endor. That cost a little bit of extra force. Lateral damage goes on the Executor, so it's power and forfeit 0. Wasn't really necessary to do this, but I thought it'd be kind of funny to see how wide I can make the gap. So we got a few maneuvers adding 2 to maneuver. Dark maneuvers, the dark side is helping us out. That's pretty much the only dark side card I figured could actually help get the maneuver up. Light maneuvers double special modification, so instead of adding 2 to maneuver, it's adding 4 to maneuver. And then it's time to battle. Add a couple more power, make it immune to attrition, why not? Okay. So Han can actually redraw that. I've never used Premier Han, but I just redrew that because I could. He lets you cancel and redraw Destiny, but it ends up being the same thing. And now it's time to draw Battle Destiny. We're going to substitute using all wings, which a lot of us are familiar with this card, but you can substitute the maneuver of your unique starfighter. So let's see what we end up getting. Whatever this number is, that's the maneuver total of the Falcon. So we had gotten up to 23. 23 was the maneuver. Add 1 more to make it 24. That doesn't add to the maneuver. And then, of course, we occupy all these locations, so that adds as well. All right. And since the Executor's power and forfeit 0, that's 62 difference. So that blows them away. So yeah, 23 maneuver was the highest I could get it to. If there's anything I missed in terms of adding to its maneuver, is there any way to get a starship at more than 23 maneuver? I'd be very interested in hearing in the comments. Either way, whether you can think of a way or not to add to that maneuver of 23, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in for more videos.